evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to call the Town Council meeting to order. If you'll please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you'll remain standing, Zach Cash is going to lead our invocation.
Absolutely. Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, we are thankful for this day that you have granted us. God, we have all come together here as people who love this town and want to see it succeed. So God, we ask that you be with us in our meeting, be with our council as they make decisions for the future of Tazewell. And in all things, we will give thanks to you. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. So first on our agenda is a special presentation or request. It's hospitality training. Venus Laney, you know, come on up and tell us what you got going on here.
Where's Shelley? Thank you.
That's it? Front and center.
Friends, neighbors, fellows, so I am here to represent a new training program. The Virginia Tourism Corporation, along with Southwest Virginia Community College, they have partnered together to develop a new training. It's focused on developing customer service skills, combining information about our local tourism, and it's presented to local hospitality industry businesses. Some of the larger businesses, as most of you know, usually have a training protocol for customer service. However, our small businesses, we wanted to develop something that is going to be consistent, to be able to provide a consistent and improved customer experience throughout our locality. So this training program is actually designed to be taken across the state. That's the grand vision, is that this will be a replicated model that will be used to disperse through the community colleges throughout the state. But our first choice, our first venture is going to be directed towards Tazewell. So this is our pilot workshop. We're very excited about it. I think there were some flyers, maybe?
We
Okay, you
got
guys have those? Okay. So it is called the 5-Star Service Hospitality Training, Customer Care 101. 5 stars, you know, that's kind of what we all shoot for. We want the best experience possible. Because as statistics show, the experience that someone receives will actually outweigh the product that they receive. Right? I mean, you can come away with a mediocre product, and if that customer service is just over the top, you're going to remember the experience. Same thing, if it's a crummy product or under par product, but you really have a great connection, you have a great experience, you might be more forgiving. So we want to kind of increase those customer service skills to create a better experience. So the 5 stars, we've got 5 sections, and I'm hyperventilating. I don't know why I know so many of you. But we've got 5 sections we're going to cover. As I stated, this is a partnership with Virginia Tourism, so there is going to be a focus on understanding the tourism aspect. Hospitality, it can sometimes overlap with the travel industry, but what we want to point out is that our customers that we serve also include our locals. So the hospitality industry is focused on anything that really designs to offer leisure or recreational type services, whether it's for our locals or for people that are coming in outside the area. But it's important, even as locals, to understand what we have happening in Tazewell, right? We don't want somebody to come in out of the area and not be aware of what's happening. So part of this customer service training is going to focus on where do you find out about that information? How do you develop good stories, backstories about your own business, backstories about Tazewell, to kind of evolve that relationship and get people to stay, get people to visit other places within the town. So the next section is going to be about customer service skills. We're calling it courteous communication. Courtesy, hospitality, those are things that used to be kind of more, I don't know, structured. And I don't know if I'm remembering this just from like Donna Reed shows or Leave It to Beaver reruns or whatever, but it seemed like at one time there was more of a academic focus on things like manners and just that setting that moral standard and how to be courteous. and create that Southern hospitality. So the courteous communication, it's about honing those customer service skills and really focusing on a customer-centered care. When we keep that focus on the customer, it changes everything about how we interact. So courteous communication, that leads right into our next segment for how to deal with difficult customers and difficult situations. Really putting those, those skills into play. But again, it's focusing on the customer and recognizing the role as a customer advocate when you're serving that role. The next section is going to be proper professional service etiquette. Again, some of the larger industries, they might have a training protocol that really talks about that front of the house appearance, how you present yourself, how you actually serve. So this is going to be a section that's taught by Morgan Gilbert with Southwest Virginia Community College. She is the director of the School of Arts with the college, but she and her husband also had the restaurant, I don't know if many of you have tried it, it was Morgan's in Abingdon. It was fantastic. So they actually had developed their own customer service protocol, so she'll be a fantastic speaker on that. The last section is going to be about going above and beyond. So really, not just meeting the mark, but exceeding that mark. And how individuals that are currently employed in the hospitality industry can look to further their own career, further their own business, and that kind of thing. So we've got a great speaker there, Karen Hester. I don't know if many of you are familiar with her. She owns Cranberry Lane in Bristol, and Southern Churn also in Bristol area. So lots of speakers coming in. We're really excited about this program. Again, it's an awesome opportunity. Tazewell's going to be the pilot project, focusing on how to greatly broaden that experience for folks visiting Tazewell. So I am here this evening to bring awareness to it, but also to elicit ideas. I'm hopeful to get some feedback. We've contacted Todd's office last week to talk about really an incentive program for our local businesses to send their staff. It's not just going to be better for the individual businesses. This is something that's going to affect us as a locality. So what is the saying? It's greater than the sum of the parts. Our end product is greater than just improving each individual experience at the business. I mean, if we can have a consistent, improved customer experience, then it's reflected on our town's brand, really. I mean, when you think about each individual's experience really has an impact of how people view Tazewell. So what we're hoping is that we can kind of get some ideas going on how to create an incentive for the businesses to send their employees, not just the word of mouth piece, but so Todd's been gracious enough to extend some incentive offers, but definitely looking for some ideas. Again, I don't think I mentioned, it's free to attend. However, the businesses that send their employees, it's likely that they will pay their employees to go, right? You'll be clocked in while you're attending, so it will be whatever the fee is, and now the minimum wage has increased a bit. So it's a 2.5-hour training. It's going to be Zoom format, but so the only cost will be to the businesses that they send, as far as if they want to pay for their employees to go. No registration fee. But we're hoping to really get that word out so people understand just the great opportunity. Again, it's not just for the individual, it's not just for the business, but it can improve our locality as a whole. So, any questions about the training? Anything I didn't
Well, I've got to say hallelujah. I've been looking at something like this for some time. I don't know what Todd has floated, but maybe some type of waiver or reduction of a meals tax for a month or something to encourage.
Well, that would depend on the type of business.
What's that?
That would depend on the type of business.
Right, I'm saying for
Yeah.
restaurants, that type, something.
Well, and I thought that we might talk to Tazewell today as well. They might have just some ideas on what some incentives could be. I mean, it could just be something as simple as you have a drawing of the people that are attending there for the business, and you bring them lunch for the day, or sometime in the future.
Yeah, oh yeah, please. I'm definitely not proud. We're looking for ideas to generate, and as many people as are invested in this, the better. Because when you see the value, you definitely want to get the word out and get as many people excited as possible. But yes, you're right, there's been a lot of talk, and it's my understanding that there has been talk about development of a program just like this, but nothing's actually
Right.
put the wheels on the ground until this partnership between the college and ETC.
Well, this is a definite need, I would concur, and I'm thrilled to hear you're doing it because it's needed in the restaurants, and the businesses. I was thinking of our train station employees down there, they need to be a part of it, and they all need to network
Yes,
and send people from A to B, and then to C, and to D.
exactly, yeah. So, again, what is the full quote to that? It's greater than the sum of the parts. What is the full?
The sum is great, no, what is it?
But you know what I'm saying? We can do more together. I mean, as we elevate one another, we are elevating the locality as a whole.
Rising tide lifts all ships.
What is it?
Rising tide lifts all ships.
Oh my God. See, this is for my next pitch. Yeah, but exactly, yeah. The more we can, spread the love and spread the interest, and again, that consistency, we want to create some consistency for customer experiences.
Well, I mean, it can even be as far as convenience stores.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
People
Because
stop
it's-
in there, they ask a question, they need to get a good answer.
I think it can be any business.
Yes.
We train on it in our practice all the time. I'm already thinking who I can send. So I can think of one Jake Lane. Everybody can learn, and
Yeah.
everybody has different ideas and gems to help us serve our ideal patients and ideal customers. I think that the drawing is a good thing, but I think I would look to the businesses to see who you can get really cool door prizes for, and that will be for the employees. And I'm trying to think of something that you can do to motivate the employer.
Right.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right,
Because
yeah.
the door prizes are going to be a fun thing for the employees and make them have a nice break from work where they're learning and bring back what they learned and share it with the rest. But what can we do to motivate the employer to send their, because yes, I mean, especially if we're going to put on this tourism hat and do a great job at it, we've got to step up our game. So I guess that's where I would really focus on is.
Yeah, the business incentive, that's really where we do want to focus, because they're going to be the ones to send the employees, and if we can get that buy-in on a broad scope. And I do apologize, so we're 6 weeks out from yesterday for the training day. So we're a little bit behind, but this is new. We're literally forging it. I'm still developing the curriculum actually as we speak. So to wear the many hats, this is, we wanted to have something solid in terms of marketing before we were ready to kind of get everybody on board. Because the first thing people are going to ask is, well, do you have something I can share? Well, as of today, we do. So we're kind of pushing it a little bit, but yes, please. So my contact information, I should have included that. It's my name, venus.laney@sw.edu. That's my college address. So please, if you have thoughts, ideas, I'm just going to mug everybody for wisdom until we.
At what?
Oh, I'm sorry, at edu.
ED.
Oh, I'm sorry, at sw.edu.
Did you say
Dr.
Dr.
Venus
Venus
knows
dot?
that. What is it?
Venus.Laney.
At sw.edu.
And there's more flyers if you all want to take those and give them to whoever and share.
I suggest you've got customer care 101, that's great. Maybe a cheat sheet that they could take home with them.
Yes.
Lists a lot of these things that they could share with other people when they get back to work.
I love that. So the courteous communication, that's one that I'm facilitating.
Yeah.
So we got a little acronym there called CARE, C-A-R-E, just as a kind of good reminder about how you can connect and develop that rapport. So, but yes, something to take with them, absolutely. Yeah.
We are going to share this in the website, right?
Yes, and the website and the Facebook page.
So the registration again is free. There will be a link on the social media post. As soon as those go live, I will let you know to share if you don't mind. And the link to register should be included on the social media post. If they have questions too, they can contact the college.
I'm thinking even the secretaries at the schools ought to be there. Because they have a lot of, interplay with parents and people in the community. They need to know this kind of thing too.
Yeah. It's really hard to find a type of job that you're not, going to gain from learning some customer service experience. Yeah, for sure. You have questions?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you all
Thank you
very,
very
very
much.
much. Good to see you all.
So let's see, next on the agenda, new business recognition. We have none, but didn't we just approve a special exemption committee one?
Maybe.
We'll say welcome.
Next month.
Yes, next month
Next month
we'll do
we're
the dog and pony show. Yeah, with you here. Yeah, so we, yeah, because that kind of threw me off.
I'm
a
like,
little
we
bit.
have to come out again?
I feel a little too-
What's that? We come back and,
We welcome you as a business.
oh,
and
gotcha, okay.
Just give you some goodies and all that. So. So next, the approval of minutes from council meeting on August 10th, 2021. Can I get a motion to approve?
I so moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approval, stay so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, stay so by saying nay. All right, motion carries. So next, the approval of financial statements and financial report from August 2021. I get a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, stay so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, stay so by saying nay. The motion carries. Next is the committee conference updates. Planning Commission Committee, Councilmember Davis.
All right, so we met just yesterday. And we had 2 items on our agenda. We discussed, there was somebody that had come forward with a special exception permit. They have a building on Main Street with an apartment over top of a business, and they want to use that apartment as an Airbnb. So we went through all of our normal questions, talked about the parking, all of the other fun stuff, and Planning Commission didn't see any issues with it, and we voted to go ahead and move it on up to Town Council and suggest that we set a public hearing, and that will be later. And we also discussed the zoning change that had been sent back down to us. We had the public meeting last council session. We had several people that came forward and voiced some concerns. We discussed several different things, how we could possibly address those changes in the zoning change. One thing that we did discuss is that there are, our B1 district is fairly large and does encompass a lot of residential property. And some of these properties are not necessarily in areas that we typically think of as business. So in the end, we voted not to make any changes at all and just send it back here.
So that'll be, what's
Yeah.
next, I'm assuming?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there's going to be no changes to this now?
We did not make any changes, no. So it's up to council whether they want to approve it or not. There were several planning commission members that said that they really did not see a problem with the existing, with the inclusive zoning the way it is now. So that's up to council now.
We do have the overlay districts, so anything in those districts.
Right,
Now,
yeah, there is the
commission
overlay.
and Council anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, the overlay district will really
Yeah.
pretty much take care of
Okay,
what
so,
was being tried to accomplish.
so the concerns that Mr. Harmon, Mr. Corsi had, will they be alleviated by not making these changes?
Yes,
Or will they still have the same concerns?
no. Because basically the concern is if we take away the inclusive zoning in the B1 district, if someone has a residence in the B1 district that for some reason gets destroyed, they have a fire, or there's a flood, or whatever,
They can't build it as residential.
they would not be able to build it back as residential because it is in a B1 district.
Without a special.
Without permission, yeah.
Without permission, yes. And we did discuss, especially down on Riverside Drive, there is a large section of Riverside Drive that is zoned B1 that includes a lot of residences. Basically, the entire side of Riverside Drive,
South side.
the south side next to the river, is all B1
Because it was rezoned. Right.
because it was rezoned, right? And there's a lot of residences back in there. And then you also have the issue with the residences across from Cargo, and various other places. So, that's it.
So do we need a second reading if we're making no changes?
Well, we were gonna wait the second
You got
reading.
We were.
We can dispense with the second reading. If
Okay.
you vote to do so,
But we
then
can just table the,
Okay.
yeah.
I vote to dispense the second reading.
I get a second?
Okay.
Any discussion? All in favor of waiving second reading, stay so by saying aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay.
And I'll make a motion to table this change to the chapter 23.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of tabling the change to chapter 23, stay so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, stay so by saying nay. Okay, so it's tabled. I guess we'll hear more from Chris, you guys as we go forward, but probably don't expect it if we're not making any changes. So next on the agenda is a special exemption permit for 203 Fincastle. Mr. Hurley.
Which, y'all have a public hearing for tonight for, and we're voting for final approval to come out and start the business.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the special exemption permit for 203 Fincastle, stay so by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay.
Unanimous.
Yes, motion carries. Welcome.
If the neighbors are on board.
I'll be smelling donuts in no time.
Just don't come down your pajamas.
Nobody wants to see that.
So next on the agenda is the Lincolnshire playground recommendation. So there is a handout that Robin gave everyone that kind of highlights what we're discussing here.
Is everything was discussed in the executive session and the regular meeting that we already had last Thursday? Just need to approve the amount of $209,040.58 to proceed.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor for expending the funds for Lincolnshire playground revitalization, stay so by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay. All right, motion carries. Next, the Lincolnshire splash pad.
Same thing, I put the information back in that you've already discussed. There is on the last page of that section a breakdown that Chris and Donnie had put together of the extra expenses as far as in-house labor, things like that. But I totaled it on the very first sheet in the beginning of that section. Quote for, these are the two that you need to decide on, whether one or the other. The pass-through water to waste version with the stainless enclosure. You'll see the quote amount, the additional cost and labor, plus the estimated annual water cost was $149,985.76. If you go with the other option, which the full recycling system with reservoir pumps, the total comes to $150,253.34. Not much difference in price. After speaking with Chris and Donnie thinks that the second full recirculation system with the reservoir pumps would probably be the one that would last the longest for us, be simple to install. So that's the one that he said that he would.
And we have
Also,
residual water.
Right.
this chart that me and Donnie done, we didn't take into account that there's only a 2-inch service line coming from Riverside to the pool. And this recirculation system, the waterfall is a 3-inch, and the other key parts in there is 1 inch. So your 2-inch angle services. So if you go with the pass-through water, you'll have to upgrade your water from the street to the pool.
Because we go recirculating, we won't have. Oh, good.
That's easy to know.
Yeah.
Make a
Don't
motion.
hold our feet to the fire on these calls, 'cause
Yeah.
it's just a quick estimate. There is a contingency there for 5,000, because concrete, I poured cold into the house 6 months ago, $180 a yard. Now it's $245. So that's why that 5,000 is there.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to go with Donnie's recommendation with the recirculating system, the one highlighted in green.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor of going with the recirculating system, state so by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, state so by saying nay. There we go, so we've got the recirculating system. Next on the agenda is the EMS Ford Transit Type 2 ambulance with an estimated cost of $135,000.
That was already discussed also last Thursday. We just needed to get a formal motion and approval on that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of going forward with the transit vehicle for the EMS department, stay so by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay. All right, motion carries. Next is the Memorandum of Understanding, Acceptance, and Approval for the Sports Complex.
This was emailed out to me yesterday, and that's when I sent it on to you all to review. I also stuck in there what they were referring to as far as August 5th with the original agreement, which was already signed. All that Jim did was break down the cost for the total not to exceed $100,000. Just need a motion to approve.
Mayor, I'll make the motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor of moving forward with the memorandum of understanding with Thompson Litton, stay so by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay. All right, motion carries. Next, miscellaneous. I don't see anything, so we're going to move on to our new business part of the meeting. So next is a permission to allow the planning commission to evaluate golf cart ordinance after discussion with the police department and others.
Todd has been getting several phone calls from different people about using the golf carts on the new trails that are coming out. So he got together some ordinances, different places, what they do. He wanted to know whether you wanted to proceed forward with planning commission, look into that a little deeper, or if you just didn't want to regard it at all.
I would like to see that.
Okay.
So we don't need to vote on
No,
this,
we
though,
just
right?
needed
We
to know whether to proceed. with
So they
planning
trailer
commission.
their golf cart to Lincolnshire?
Must be, they're talking about the new trails coming into
It's
town.
also,
So they want
Yeah,
to,
they're gonna ride the road to the trail.
yes. So
Golf carts and four-wheelers on the streets,
Right.
basically. So,
What do you think of that?
I don't like it, but we're pulling ordinance. I think Chris has ordinances from Pocahontas, which does have the four-wheeling trails. I think Bluefield has it.
Bluefield just passed it, yeah.
they're
gonna
all
be-
over Hayside.
It's going to be, there'll have to be a lot of rules to look into.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be, in my opinion, that you guys are gonna have to come up with how it's gonna work, because you're gonna have to enforce it, so.
Which I know chief and assistant chief, they're digging into it, so they got all the paperwork on it.
Would
Are
they
we
come
talking
to-
about like all out ATVs?
Like, they have to be street legal, right? Don't they have to have the?
Well, some of the, let me read some of them from Bluefield.
That's what we'd have to get in, nitty-gritty part.
There's a few samples in your packet too.
Oh, is it?
One of them says only between sunrise and sunset, so
Yeah.
I would assume that means that they might not have.
Might not have
lights.
the,
Yeah.
None of them have brake lights, do they?
Some of them do, mine
Some
don't.
of the fancy, like the Rangers do, but
Everybody goes 15 or 20 on Fincastle anyway, so.
I beg to differ during school traffic, they fly by me.
I
when I'm going home for lunch.
I'm going to bed, they're gonna walk past.
I don't see any problem with that.
Okay, we'll just let them start.
Yeah, let them look into it, get as much information, and we can maybe make a sound decision. So, next is the, what is it? We got called Stan for this, don't we? Next is Team Virginia, the Falling Outdoors request. So let me try to reach down here. Hey Stan, Mayor Hoops, how are you? Good, so I've got you on council meeting here. I'm going to try to figure out how to turn this volume up some. So we'd like to know more about the Team Virginia, the Falling Outdoors request that you had?
I think the manager had been contacted by, I believe his name is Donald Ducky Liquid. He is over the Virginia Fallen Outdoors, and what this is, it's basically the same thing as the fallen wounded heroes. What they do is he is the regional director, and he has a gentleman by the name of, I think it's Donald, I'm sorry, Mr. Bennett is his assistant here in the Kelly area. And what they do is they take any properties that a locality may have, and they try to get them to come in and do urban archery. There would be no weapons other than a crossbow or a bow, and most of the time it is crossbow. And those seasons run from September the 4th through October the 1st, and then they pick back up January the 2nd and run to the 27th of 2022. And those that contacted us wanting to know we would be willing to participate since we have the properties that is out at Route 61 and behind the old Camp 31 DOC. My concern would be, of course, the two permission slips that we have would the town be covered? And I guess this is a town attorney question. Would the town be covered by signing the waiver to allow these gentlemen to hunt?
I think we kind of put Eric in a bad spot, but he'd have to see the waiver first before he could.
Yeah, we'd have to look at that. They use this actual waiver in Amherst, town of Amherst, and I did speak with the chief of police, and their town attorney had approved it in their jurisdiction, and he said he had not had any issues, but that doesn't mean that the waiver would be full guard. And that would be my only concern is with the gentleman at full guard on the waiver, allowing these gentlemen to come in on the property side.
I think we'd have to research our insurance policy and check with them as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And we could get a copy of the waiver to the attorneys to look at and reach out. Okay.
Sure.
And what
Also, Mr. Brown, also, what you told me that they do carry some insurance on their people for some type of protection. I can find out more of what that is. That could be a liability insurance that would relieve the town of any proceedings.
Yeah, I don't think anybody just right off the cuff is opposed to it. We just need to know more information.
Well, Virginia's got a statute that grants absolution from liability to landowners and gratuitous activities conducted on agricultural lands that may apply
Okay.
to this, but I, have to have a little time to put those two things together, but for activities that are conducted on land with permission of the landowner, but not for profit, okay, that relieves the landowner of any liability for personal injury on the land, what may happen to the user. So we have to look at that and then look at this, the contractual aspect of this, and give you an opinion, which I'm sure that Mr. Five would be glad to do.
Well, the other thing, because the land that we're talking about has the trail on it, right?
It is that plot of land, right?
Yes.
That's.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the part of land that we would be speaking of.
Yeah, well, and I know last year, they had that little soft opening, and then I think it was only open for like a month, and then they shut down for
During
hunting
hunting
season.
yes.
So I don't know, because I know that it's not just Tazewell's land that's part of the trail, is it?
No, the town of Tazewell actually has probably the smallest portion that includes the trail.
Right,
It's other private owners that own the majority of the trail area.
right. So I would assume that that would be shut down again during hunting season.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that it's a good idea, and we definitely have a lot of wildlife in the area, as Mr. Fox would attest.
That's what I was wondering, can we do it in town?
Okay, Stan, so what I'm hearing is we're definitely not opposed. There's just some more information that we would need to be able to make a sound decision, and we also have to give our attorneys some time to look at some of the waivers.
Well, Maggie, like I said, these gentlemen had contacted us, and I don't know how they moved up, but we have the property, but they had contacted us to see if we would be interested in this point, this development we've had.
I would suggest just have them contact Todd and let him get the ball rolling to see how we can move forward.
Gotcha.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right, the next is to approve the resolution for Transportation Alternatives Program. And
By law, by VDOT standards, we have to do a resolution for federal money that we are going to obtain or try to obtain. This one is for the Route 61 sidewalk, Phase 1 and Phase 2. It has to be divided into two projects because of the cost. We are going to have a public information meeting on that. That is required. It's a new requirement of VDOT. You guys have already voted on that for Friday, September 24th at 2 o'clock. But we need to adopt the resolution tonight to upload into the system for smart scale.
I vote to try to obtain free money.
yes, let me read it first. It might take a minute. It's rather lengthy. The resolution, a resolution for the town of Tazewell, it's kind of odd, as an endorsement of Route 61 sidewalk Phase 1 and 2 project. Whereas in accordance with the Commonwealth Transportation Board construction allocation procedures, it is necessary that a resolution be received from the sponsoring local jurisdiction or agency requesting the Virginia Department of Transportation to establish a project in the town of Tazewell. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Tazewell requests the Commonwealth Transportation Board to establish a project for the construction of the Route 61 sidewalk Phase 1 and 2 project. Be it further resolved that the town of Tazewell hereby agrees to provide its share of the total cost for preliminary engineering right-of-way construction of this project in accordance with the project financial documents subject to appropriation. Be it further resolved that the town of Tazewell hereby agrees to enter into a project administration agreement with VDOT and provide the necessary oversight to ensure the project is developed in accordance with all applicable federal, state, and local requirements for design, right-of-way acquisition, and construction of the project. Be it further resolved that the town of Tazewell will be responsible for maintenance and operating costs of the facility as constructed unless other arrangements have been made with VDOT. Be it further resolved that if the town of Tazewell subsequently elects to cancel the project The town of Tazewell hereby agrees to reimburse VDOT for the total amount of costs expended by VDOT through the date VDOT is notified of such cancellation. The town of Tazewell also agrees to repay any funds previously reimbursed that are later deemed ineligible by the Federal Highway Administration for VDOT. Be it further resolved that the town council of the town of Tazewell hereby grants authority for the town manager to apply for funds and execute project administration agreements as well as other documents necessary for approved projects. Get a motion to approve the resolution.
Motion.
I get a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving?
Looks like you need a roll call.
Yeah, it does look like you need a,
Does it?
yeah. There's,
Six.
Well, I just have to at least two's here. You should be fine,
I mean, we can do a roll call.
you know.
Yeah. So, we'll do roll call vote. Vice Mayor Mullins,
Aye.
Councilmember Brown,
Aye.
Councilmember Catron,
Aye.
Councilmember Davis,
aye.
Councilmember Beasley,
Aye.
and Councilmember Fox is absent tonight. So, any opposed, signify by saying nay. Okay, resolution carries. The next, a approved resolution for revenue sharing.
Revenue sharing is a 50-50 match. Their funding cycles have changed. It's every 2 years now. We don't do that every year. Normally, when we apply, it's for pavement overlay. We get knocked down to like tier 3, and we hardly ever get the money. This year, we have found a project where we're going to replace the water line between Peary Street and for the Business 460, all in Fincastle. That road, we can take all the way down to the dirt, which is they consider reconstruction. So we get put up in a higher tier when we do that. The project is so large, it puts us a little bit under, like we won't be the first applications they look at because we're over 5 million. If you're under $1 million, they look at those applications first. But with the funding, the funding fiscal years are not going to be actually awarded to you until 27, 28. So you still have a long time that we can plan and budget and put that into effect. So just wanted to make you guys aware that it's not something we're going to be doing next year. It's absolutely not. But the same thing, we have to pass this resolution to upload into Smart Scale to apply for it. The neighbors are going to read this one too.
Are you ready again?
Yes.
Whereas the town council of the town of Tazewell desires to submit an application for the allocation of funds up to $5,269,284, which equals $2,634,642 state and $2,634,642 local, to be matched through the Virginia Department of Transportation fiscal year 2023 revenue sharing program. And whereas $2,634,000 whoa.
Oh, that was, I'll fix that, go ahead.
Take out the 7.
Yeah, take out the 7.
Yes, $2,634,642 of these funds are requested to fund reconstruct the pavement on Fincastle Turnpike, 2.33 miles from Peary Street to US Route 460 in the town of Tazewell, Virginia. And whereas the town council of the town of Tazewell hereby supports this application for allocation of $5,269,284, which equals to $2,634,642 state and $2,634,642 local, to be matched through the Virginia Department of Transportation fiscal year 2023 revenue sharing program. Now therefore be it resolved that the town council hereby commits to fund its local share of preliminary engineering, right-of-way, and construction as applicable of the projects under agreement with Virginia Department of Transportation in accordance with the project financial documents. Be it further resolved that the town manager, Todd Day, is authorized to execute all agreements for any approved projects with the Virginia Department of Transportation, adopted this 14th day of September 2021. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approval, state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, state so by saying nay. All right, resolution carries forward and approved. So next is to set a public hearing for the special exception permit request for 131 Marion Avenue for October 12th, 2021 at 7:15. Chris, do you have any information?
Yes, Blissful Holdings want to open an Airbnb at 131 Marion Avenue. I received this application on August 9th. We done the planning commission meeting last night on that. We went over the 9 requirements. And as usual, the only one that really sticks out is going to be traffic congestion. So anybody also stated that the county is reserved 2 spots for her. even
Well, it's
before-
actually in her deed.
Yeah, it's in her deed. She has 2 parking spots there. And it's only a 2-bedroom Airbnb.
Is this above the shop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the back entrance, like upside the library building. And after y'all set the hearing, I'll send out letters to all the adjoining landowners, which is mostly businesses and bank and board supervisors, people like that. We'll put it in the paper for 2 consecutive weeks. And have another public hearing next month.
Okay. So I need a motion to set the public hearing for October 12th.
So moved.
I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of setting public hearing for a special exception permit request for 131 Marion Avenue for October 12th, 2021 at 7:15 PM, stay so by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay. All right, public hearing will be set. Next is miscellaneous. Ben, has anybody signed in to speak? No one signed in, so. So, next is council comments. Anybody? Quite a group. All right.
I'll make a comment.
All right, make a comment.
Motion to adjourn?
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor of adjournment, stay so by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, stay so by saying nay. Meeting adjourned.